What's up, guys? This is Rachel from The Challenge. I just wanted to thank you all for supporting me this season. You don't know how much it means. I feel the love. I see the love. Thank you, Reality Art Pod, for holding it down and wishing me the best. The final's here. So just want to thank you guys all for the support. And don't forget, it doesn't have to end on the challenge. You guys can all come work out with me anytime you want at rachelfitness.com. Follow me at Rachel Fitness. Keep the love coming. But thank you guys so much. I truly, truly, truly appreciate everyone who wishes me well, every message I get, every single person that is rooting for me, especially you, Reality Art Pod. Talk to you soon. Thank you, honey.
Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about The Challenge Season 40, Episode 19, titled The End of an Era, Part 2. Last week, in Part 1, the finalists competed in the first few rounds of the final in the Philippines, and they swam and swam and swam and peed and sang, and Jenny lost her mind in the hull of the SS Sinister. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist where you can catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. My videos aren't meant to replace the original material, so if you missed the episode, I highly encourage you to seek it out and form your own opinion first. If you love the challenge, I put a link in my description for you to try Paramount Plus for free. But let's dive into it. We pick back up where we left off. The challengers are counting their coins, and Jenny is losing it. Rachel sees opportunity that Jenny's head isn't in the game, as Jenny fully phones it in, gives up on her counting, shoves her coins in the box, and goes to bed. The players who are trying are still counting and singing, as Jenny is having visions of sugar plums in her head. This was not entertaining, and I was excited when everyone finished counting. Tori is in last place right now, but hopes that her counting skills can save her ass. The next day, TJ shows up with results. In first place for this round are Derek and Rachel, followed by Jordan and Michelle, Kyland and Jenny, and Tori and Bananas finish last. Tori starts saying that she quits, seems like she's half kidding, half serious, and TJ encourages everyone to stay focused because the karma points are coming. Their next checkpoint is called Submerging Terror. They have to find a hidden beach to find a paddle, then swim down to retrieve a key in an underwater cage, use the key to unlock their boat, and paddle back to the Sinister. Jordan gets there first, of course, and Michelle courteously helps her competitor Jenny get up on the raft. Jordan pulls out in front, but Rachel points out again that the women are kicking the rest of the men's asses at this. Jordan even has time to take a cute little break before he starts diving for his cage. Kyland is proud of himself for even catching up to the rest of the guys and having a chance of not being last, as Tori gets her key first and takes the lead for the women. Jenny gets to boating and Michelle gets her key but can't get out of the water and starts to panic. Rachel sees this as an opportunity to get the key and pass her up. Rachel gets her boat and starts trailing Jenny. Michelle is a lost cause at this point. She can't get her boat out, she loses her oar, she's just chilling. Jordan finishes first again and is worried about the karma vote with a montage of all of his bad acts through the years. He's followed by Derek, Tori, Bananas, Rachel, and somehow Michelle, who was dilly-dallying, still beats Kyland. Into the next round, it's Berna's worst nightmare. TJ tells them to meet him on a sandbar for a drink.
I hate this drink.
They swim to the sandbar for a challenge called Mathematical Leisure. They'll face off in pairs in a math battle. When they win their math battle, they can go back to the Sinister. If they're wrong, they have to face off against the next person. They don't have to drink a gross drink. They, in fact, are surprised by a delicious coconut drink.
Love this drink.
Jordan solves his first, followed by Jenny, Rachel, Tori, Derek, Michelle, Kyland, and Bananas, who's left there by himself. Michelle was really stuck there for a long time, losing multiple rounds. Poor Bananas had to face off against Calculator Kyland and gets dog walked. He's left alone with his coconut on his sandbar. He reflects on his time on Era 2 and on his game, claiming that he flew under the radar. This is the same guy who was fighting on the roof and on the bus. Michelle outswims Rachel and Tori back to the Sinister, which impresses Rachel, but Rachel's still not counting herself out. Derek is channeling his sister Brianna and his family back home, loving being in his finalist era. Jordan and Jenny finish first, followed by Derek and Michelle, Kyland and Rachel. Last are Tori and Bananas, who jumps off the Sinister in shame. He's so shy. They head to their final checkpoint called Champions Cove. They have to swim into this cove, use an underwater scooter to follow buoys, and collect their token. What is an underwater scooter? I do not know, but I need one. I know I cannot afford one. Jenny does not know how to use one, and she watches the rest of the competitors zip past her. They get into the cove. Michelle and Rachel quickly find their tokens and head back, and they all slowly float back to the Sinister like manatees, with Michelle coming in first, followed by Rachel, Tori, Jenny, Jordan, Bananas, Derek, and Kyland. TJ finally explains that in every round, they would get get points for their placements, with first place in every round getting 4 points, last place getting 1 point. Karma points were worth 2 whole checkpoints of points. We get another montage of players ranking the men, with Derek getting lots of 5s, Banana getting tons of 1s, even from Leroy, and Kara giving Bananas a 1, saying it's for Sarah. For the men, TJ says the karma points didn't affect the final standings. The winner for the men, winning $400,000, is Jordan. In second, winning $75,000, is Derek. In third, with $25,000, is Bananas. And Kyland placed last and gets no money, which is not a surprise. For the women, the karma votes mattered, with TJ saying vengeance was served. They show tons of mixed scorings for the women. These scores were all over the place. TJ starts with 4th place with Tori, which shocked me, seeing her come last and get no money. Michelle went from 2nd to 3rd place after the karma vote, earning her $25,000. TJ then reveals that Rachel and Jenny both tied in their scores, so they'll split the $475,000 of 1st and 2nd place prize. So our 3 champions this season are Jordan, Rachel, and Jenny, representatives from Era 1, 3, and 4. So I guess after all of this, we draw the conclusion that Era 2 is just the worst. The winners celebrate on the Sinister and the ship blows up. So let's talk about these finalists, starting with our 4th place finishers. Kyland came off of a rocky season 39 where his alliance was targeted heavy. I think he really needed this kind of season where he could mingle, make some friends, and just have a good experience. He has a great season here, winning 4 dailies, beating Darrell and Devin in eliminations to make this final, getting the nickname Calculator Kyland. Had this final been closer to that of season 39, he would have stood more of a chance, but it was just so much swimming. He was just doomed here. I will say I did not like him on Big Brother, but I do like him now, so I'm glad he went on the challenge. In my opinion, this has been Tori's strongest season on the show. She showed up acting like a real pro, winning the qualifier and 4 dailies along the way, but I don't think she ever got into the cocky territory that she's got into in the past, which can be kind of annoying. She was pretty laid back and chill this season. She did have some drama with Bananas. That was one of the few fights this season, so I'm glad there was that. She helped to keep the house antics and tomfoolery going and became friends with Kara, which I think was cute for them. She's claimed she's taking a break from the show, and I think that would make fans appreciate her in absence, but I wouldn't mind seeing her on another show during that break. Bananas started the season on Era 2 and seemed to quickly have a target on his back, with a good portion of the cast looping him together with Laurel as big Era 2 targets. Despite having a strong start with 2 early daily wins, he goes on to be a bit of a bottom feeder in the game, being repeatedly at risk in elimination. He forms his Angels Alliance, who are also players who are on the outs in the game. Even being the winningest challenger, he ends up being the leader of the underdogs this season, with everyone constantly getting on his case, especially about the Devin situation, where I do believe he was just trying to be a friend to Michelle. I find it tired that the other challengers still hold it against him that he took the money from Sarah and won't let him have a point in an argument because of it. That's not very fair. That ends up being such a Pyrrhic victory for him that I guess he'll never truly live down. Through all of it, he comes into this final with terrible karma and doesn't perform well enough for it to even matter, but I do wish the other players would just let the Sarah thing go after all this time. Michelle came into this season following a dominant run in season 39. Coming out of that season, she felt like she was going to be targeted heavily moving forward. She lucked out that this season was what it was. She didn't have to face the music of all the season 39 people coming for her, and she was able to make a ton of new friends here, which could help her out when that time does come. She won the qualifier and then struggles through the season, going into 3 eliminations, losing her friends along the way, coming in dead last in 2 dailies and getting penalties for it. So it's a great accomplishment that she's able to make it to the point to get money. The biggest issue I had with her along the way this season is she seemed to work really hard on the Challenge USA to build this relationship with Bananas that was really good business for her on the show. And she completely tosses his friendship aside for really no reason, which wasn't a good look for her, and I'm excited to see how they address that at the reunion. By the way, I'd really like to see Michelle on the Traitors in the next few years. Does anyone agree? Derek came to the season fresh off All-Stars 4, which greatly helped him as he has an excellent social game. He was able to form fresh bonds with almost half the cast here. You would think all the All-Stars 4 people would be kind of on the same page, but they really weren't. His bonds, especially with the women, carried him through the game, helping him to make it to episode 14 without winning a daily or seeing an elimination. He won a daily there alongside Rachel, which was triumphant, and faced elimination the following week, which was probably the highlight of his challenge career so far, facing off against Corey in the elimination that he dedicated to his sister Brianna, and coming out on top there. Despite coming into this final with a disadvantage, he performed well throughout the entirety of it. There was just no beating Jordan here in this swimming final. He should be really proud of himself. He ends up having his best season ever. He's another one that I think would be so good on a social strategy game like the Traitors. Jordan came into this season feeling like the VIP, as he's seen by many as the GOAT, and he had a scheduled race. He couldn't make it in time, so he walks in a day late. Sorry guys, I was busy working. I saw some comments online that they should have gotten Jordan out while they could. I think the only time they really could have is Bananas really could have thrown Jordan in against Horacio, I guess. But after week 7, he goes on to win 5 dailies and was protected by Tori for a lot of the game. There was really no getting Jordan out. Story-wise, there wasn't too much there. He was a good teammate, largely would sit back and let the drama happen, saying it was to his benefit, and he wanted the money to fund his driving career, which I respect, but ultimately, I just find him to be kind of snoozy TV, especially because he's gonna make it to the final in any season he's on. I do just wish there was some drama. He demolishes this final. There's no doubting his greatness. He says he wants to come back for season 50, and I'm sure when he does, he'll wipe the floor with everyone again. Our next winner, Jenny, had such a weird edit this season. She was consistently crushing it on paper, winning 4 dailies and 2 eliminations, but the show just seemed to dunk on her on every opportunity for no reason, with Casey calling Jenny a rookie even though she's a winner, which is now really not a good look for Casey to have been saying that. I'm glad she found her group with the Banana Angels, because if not, she would have had no social storyline at all, and it was nice to see her going from not being very well connected to leaving with friends. Her asthma seemed to be a problem, but as someone with asthma myself, yeah, Jenny, I love to see the representation. She pushed through it, even when people said she couldn't do it. She proves yet again what a beast she is, and she pulled out a second championship. Rachel came into this final as the last player standing from Era 1. For the first half of this season, we watched Era 1 get decimated to the point where it seemed like Era 1 would just be completely wiped out, especially when Derek got hurt and Rachel became the last player standing for the Era. That's when her game really popped off, with Rachel winning the shipping container daily with the best solo time of any player in the game, which was such a statement and so badass. I'm glad they switched the format to individual, because after Tina left, Rachel would have had to be a target every week if they didn't change it, and the format change allowed Rachel to play a formidable social game, double dealing between Bananas Angels and Jordan and Tori, which kept her out of eliminations and into the final. She struggled a bit with puzzles, which bled into the final, causing her to stress herself out about her placements in the first few games, but she never gave up hope that she had good karma, and in the end, her hope wasn't wasted. This win from Rachel was such a satisfying conclusion to the season. The fact that the sole member of Era 1 could survive in the game physically and strategically, making deals with both sides, which is awesome. She's such a role model, and I'm so thankful she agreed to do the intro for this video, and to see this result was so cool. I asked Rachel for a charity I could donate to because I was inspired by her this season. She believes in Jamie's Rescue, a local dog rescue in Miami, so I donated to that cause, and I put a link in my bio so you could donate to her favorite cause as well, and a link to Rachel Fitness, of course. If you like the video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back next week to talk about the reunion, which is always fun, and I'll be recapping All Stars Rivals. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the episode and the results. Until next time, have a nice weekend. Bye.